Do you struggle to stay organized? Or maybe you'd like to start taking the steps into becoming a self-employed artist? Then this video is for you. I will show you how I organize my weeks, projects, and mostly my mind, in order to use my time wisely and avoid the periods of procrastination that I very easily fall into. Let's get started. When I begin each month, the first thing I usually do is to go outside to journal. I follow a simple writing prompt of 3 questions. What are my 3 main goals of this month? How can I achieve them? And what would happen if I failed? The last one especially is probably the most important one, because in most cases, writing this down alleviates the pressure of failing. And it shows you that even the worst case scenario would still be a step forward if you tried to achieve the main goals that you set for yourself. Welcome to my desk. I will take you through all of my different planners and how I set them up for a successful month ahead. This planner is Japan themed from a very cool artist that I follow. I'll set that aside for now because I'll get started first with the monthly planner. It helps me to think more broadly about the month first, and after I have that figured out, then I usually get that information and put it in my physical planner and afterwards in my Notion boards. This is what I already prepared, and to give you a bit of an explanation, I decided to make a content calendar for the first time this month. And I've separated my month into days where I post shorts, days where I put up Instagram posts, and also days when my YouTube videos come out. This helps me have dedicated days to work specifically on content, which has not been a priority for me for the past few months, and I would really like to change that. So here I have all my Wednesdays dedicated for YouTube shorts. I will mark them up so it's very visible from afar. On the side there, I have my main goals that I journaled about earlier. I've written them down so I can remember what the focus is this month and remind myself every day. On the YouTube sections, I wrote down the ideas and the videos I'm working on to know which video is supposed to be posted when. Once that's done, and I'm happy with how I have my schedule spread out, I set that aside and I start transferring it to my physical planner. Let's go to September. So this is the spread for September. I'm going to mark the dates where I have deadlines, for example, and I also have a trip planned for later on this month, so I'm gonna mark that off to know that I'm not going to be in the country for those dates, and to be able to pre-plan all my content before that. The next thing to fill in this particular planner, you could make this on your own, you don't have to have a dedicated planner, but I really like to track my habits each month. Depending on how much work I have, I add more or less habits. This month I have a lot of content I need to shoot, so I will be only tracking 2 habits: working out and self-care days. I forget to spend time on myself very often, and it's really hard to stop me from working on my job, so I make it a priority and a habit to spend time on myself and to recharge and to rest, so I could keep being creative and not burn out. I am a very visual person, so it really helps my brain to have some visual input when I open my planners. I started writing down all the days where I will be making content. It's something new to me. I am a complete newbie on YouTube and I would really like to make it grow. So I'm specifically dedicating days to focus on that because it's a social media that I definitely enjoy the most, and that's why I'm spending the most amount of time preparing for it. I like to leave the rest of it blank, so I still have some freedom each day when I open it. on what I am inspired to make. The last step of the planning for me is to transfer into this notebook my 3 main goals. As you can see, it gets a bit repetitive, but I find it helps me to remember and to have it written in so many different journals. Very often I forget what I need to be focusing on, so this way I always have it somewhere around me to see what I should be focusing on and what I should be working on every day. Having my days so pre-planned also helps me to not be overwhelmed with what I'm supposed to be doing. Since being a freelancer, you are sort of free to do anything whenever you want. So for me, having a strict schedule forces me to be more productive and not procrastinate as much. After all of those tips, all of my planners are finally prepared for the new month, and I myself feel very prepared to start the next month, and I'm looking forward to it. Knowing what to expect is always a nice thing when you're freelancing or you're self-employed. So much of your work is uncertain, so having that one thing in your work life be the same every week is very comforting. Thank you so much for sticking around. This has been a very long, very chatty video, but I am very grateful if you are watching all the way up until now. I hope you found this helpful or enjoyable to watch. I will see you next week for a new video all about my graphic novel and how I've been working on it for the past few months. And I hope to see you then. Thank you again for watching.